But I think it's important to sort of talk for a few minutes about what it is that we focus on and what it is that we're trying to do in this space and why. Particularly because there's a lot of news about microfinance going on over the last couple of months, including here in Seattle as well. And I'm not going to address some of that per se, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what we believe in and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve. So our focus is very much on helping the poor help themselves out of poverty. And we do that and we work through and with a lot of partner organizations, local organizations on the world as well as global organizations. We try not to reinvent the wheel, but we try and figure out where are the ways whereby we can effectively work to help institutions grow or reach more people. And so we do that with a variety of tools. We have financial products, we have helping on the HR side, and helping on technology type of projects. But there's a couple of things that are important for us when we interact with and when we focus on projects. One of the things that are important for us is that we believe in what we call double bottom line. And what that is, we very much believe in the financial sustainability of the institutions. One of the beauties of microfinance is that you can build a financially sustainable effort. So you can address the issue of poverty or providing financial services to poor people in a way that's sustainable. And we believe that, and that's a very important part. But what we also believe is that this business is about maximizing the impact. It's about helping people get out of poverty. So that's what I mean with the double bottom line. We also believe in the social impact and that you have to put a focus and measure the social impact. So while we believe in the, if you like, the for-profit business, it's not about maximizing profit to us. It's about maximizing the impact. So everything that we try and do in this space and institutions we try and work with is trying to make sure that you don't lose the focus or focus on the poorest and the people that really need these type of services. So the double bottom line is very important for us. Everything we do has to have emphasis and focus on both the financial sustainability and the social impact of what you're trying to do. The other piece that we believe that's very important for us as well is to make sure that as you do this intervention, as you do this work, that microfinance doesn't forget its roots, which is about reaching the very poorest people in the world. It is a little bit harder, or some say a lot harder to do, but we believe that that's something that you have to do. You can reach all up and down, if you like, on the socioeconomic spectrum, but you have to make sure that you put the focus and not forget about the poorest people in the world. And there are effective ways to reach those people. Grameen Bank and a lot of other institutions have focused on that. We do a lot of activities trying to make sure that the models that are successful, how to reach those people, can be replicated and scaled across the world. So that's a couple of focus areas that we have as an institution. Another thing that's important for us is to make sure when we do this intervention in these projects that we focus on the business model underlying that. It's very easy to go in and do something and say we're going to have this institution here, we're going to do this and that. But when you do that stuff, I believe very, very much that you have to always think about, in order for this to scale, in order for this to be replicated and have the impact we all want to not just hundreds of people, but thousands and millions of people, you got to focus on, is there a business model underlying this so that you can create sustainability. Philanthropic capital is very important in this space, but it is important as a catalyst or as a way to show the way. Ultimately, you have to build sort of sustainable models around it. So that's another focus that we have as well. As I said, we work in a lot of different areas, and what you're going to hear about tonight is a little bit of the work we do in the technology space. That's the area that I had the opportunity to start the tech center about a little bit over 9 years ago, 9 years and 1 month ago. And we really started it because of some of the successes that Grameen Bank and Grameen Phone had in Bangladesh, which is where Mohammed Yunus had this inkling and this idea that the mobile phone, as it was coming out, could have a great potential for helping poor people connect and interact with other people. And if you look at Bangladesh, back then, if you go 15 years back, it had about 600,000 fixed line of a population of 140 million people. Today, there's about 50 million mobile phones and 60 million mobile phones in that country. So there's no doubt the mobile phone has had a great impact. There's about, coming up from 5 billion mobile phone users in the world. So it's a piece of technology that are reaching people in a way that no other technology, no other way has had, or the opportunities have had to reach people today. So we believe that using those kind of technologies, figuring out how we can use that to address the needs of poor people is a very important aspect of it. So what we put the focus on is, originally in the early days we focused on something called the phone, which was basically taking the phone as a shared access business, if you like, and have one entrepreneur, micro-entrepreneur in the village, basically resell usage of that device. But now when you have so many phones out there, you can start looking at the phone as an information device. And how can you address the needs of poor people using that device that they already have in their hands, or their relatives or their neighbors have? So a lot of the activities we do are related to that. It's related to needs that they have, whether it's health needs, whether it's agriculture needs, or other such areas. And Tim, who's the main speaker, I'm going to hand over to him now. He's an old colleague that's been with us, I think, about 8 of those 9 years, or 8.5, give or take. Both of us come from the high-tech world prior to that, so we have our battle scars from that side as well. But Tim is really working something very, very exciting on what you can do with this mobile phone and how you can address, in this case, some health needs. You might even take a minute or two to talk about some of the other projects we're doing as well. But I'm going to let Tim, as the expert, talk through that. And afterwards, if you have any questions, both Tim and I are available to answer a few questions as well. So if you hold the questions, and let Tim take it from here.